Hi guys, we are from Make It, an IT startup oriented towards nation young generation empowerment, and today I would like to tell you how to search an element in a given set of numbers, or I can say in an array or list how to search for an element. Actually, there are three popular techniques used for searching. One is linear search, and other one is binary search, and the third one, in fact, the powerful one is called as a hashing. Yeah, here in this video I would like to discuss about linear search and binary search. And linear search is also called as a sequential search, and as the name implies, yeah, I'm going to perform search one after the other. Like if I want to search for 99, then I have to compare this 99 with 12, and then 4, and then 21, add something like this. I have to compare this one with the 4, and then 21, and then 5, and then 7, and then 55. Likewise, it will be going on one after the other. And as you can see, it is available in the last but one position. And here the element that was available is at the 90. Okay, last but one position, and the result is success. And number of steps that are required are, I have to count the number of elements available in this. How many elements are there in the list? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. There are 13 elements are there. And here I can say something like success, or I can say, yeah, match. Yeah, there is a match here. Let me decrease the size of it. Done. Yeah, the result is success. And the number of steps required are, yeah, they are 12. Okay, let me have a double click on it, and let's say 12 steps are required for finding the element. Okay, there are 12 steps required for finding the element. And yeah, if I have a look at finding for 100, yeah, 100 is not at all available in the list. So what I should do, I have to start with the first element, and then I have to go for each and every element one after the other. And whenever I reach the last element, yeah, I came to a conclusion that whatever the element that I am looking for is not available in the list. So here what I can say is, yeah, whatever the element I am searching for has been failed. Okay, and the number of steps are, the total number of steps are required for this. Okay, 13 steps. And let me reduce the size of it also. Okay, in total 13 steps are required for it, or else I can reduce the size to little lower. Yeah. And coming to the next one, yeah, the third one, what I am searching for is 21. And in 3 steps it is able to find it. So what I can say is, here also, yeah, the same result I'm mentioning, like the search is successful. Okay, let me copy and paste this one here. The search is successful, and the number of steps that are required are 3, just 3. Within 3 steps I could manage to find the element where it is in the list. For example, if I have 1 lakh elements, and the element that I am looking for is at the last location, then the number of steps required for doing this one is 1 lakh steps I require. Okay, which is a time consuming one. That's why linear search is having a drawback, that whenever I am looking for an element which is at the last, or which is whenever the elements are in large number, then the search won't be that much useful. The issue with the linear search is time consuming. It is going to take a lot of time. And what is the solution for it? The solution for it is a binary search. Yeah, here as the name implies, by means divide the given list of elements into 2 parts each and every time, or for each and every step I am going to check whether the element is available in the upper half or lower half. Yeah, that is how we are going to work with it. And for so as to implement this binary search technique, one such mandate criteria is the element should be sorted either in ascending order or descending order. Yeah, either way the sorting is required for implementing this binary search technique. And as I am going to divide the given number of elements into two parts, that's why by has come right here. And as I am going to divide that one into two parts each and every time, it is called as divide and conquer. So what is the meaning of it? Divide the given list of elements into two parts each and every time, and conquer means search for the element. Yeah, if I can find the element, then it is success, and if I am not going to find the element, then it is a failure. And this is often faster than linear search. Within a very quick time, it is having the ability to find the element whatever we are looking for. And yeah, let's have a look at how this one will be done. Sorry. Yeah, watch. Yeah, if I have a look at these elements, all are in sorted order. Like they are in ascending order, they are in increasing order, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 12, likewise, they are in ascending order. And I need to search for the element 12. I need to search for the element 12. Yeah, how I'm going to do this process? Yeah, let me explain in detail. Okay. Yeah, first what I'm going to do is I will be taking the least index. What is least index? Indexes are something, the labels given to these locations, like this one is a 0 and this one is a 1 and this one is a 2. It is something like the sequential numbering or allocating the numbers to each location. Yeah, something like the rooms that have been allocated in a hotel, or how they have been numbered in the same fashion. Yeah, we are going to take also some numbers for pointing to each and every location here. Like I got 6 here and I got 7 here and I got 8 here and 9. Yeah, as I got 13 elements in total, the total number of locations will be 0 to 12. Whenever I sum up, yeah, that will result in 30. Okay, these are the locations initially I got. Then what I have to do is I have to take a variable called low, which is assigned with 0, the starting index. I am taking another variable called high, which is pointing to last location, that is 12, and middle is nothing but the average of low and high, or I can say middle is equal to low plus high by 2. Yeah, 0 plus 12 by 2 is 6. And now check what's there at 6th location or 6th index. Yeah, it is the 6th index. If I observe, it is the 6th index. Here I got 21. Now compare your 12 with 21. One thing for sure, whenever I compare 12 with 21, my element is not going to be available in this location or in this part. Yeah, where I am dividing, and I am going to perform some conquering process in this lower half. Yeah, which means there is no need to check this particular location. This complete locations can be skipped out. So what I have to do, this high should be made pointing to one value less than high index. What I am trying to say is high is equal to mid minus 1. Thereby the high value has become 6 minus 1, which is 5 now. Now again do the same process. What is 0 plus 5 by 2? Yeah, here the division what I am talking about is integer division. No decimal points are allowed. It is 5 by 2, which is 2. Actually, if I perform real division, it is 2.5, but I am taking only integer part of it, so it is 2. And what's there at the second index? Okay, the available element is 4. And now compare this 12 with 4. Yeah, 12 is greater than 4. Then what I got? My element might be in this particular portion. Okay, in this particular portion. Now what I have done, it might be in this location or in this location or in this location. This is what I got now. Yeah, here also you can observe, again I am dividing it. Now the low value has been made mid plus 1, so now it has become 3. Okay, that's a typo here, just let me correct. discard. Okay, whenever mid value, whenever 12 is greater than high, yeah, it is something like 3. What is 3 plus 5? 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 by 2 is 4. Okay, mid value is 4. And what's there at the fourth location? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is going to have 8. As I got 8 here, now my element is available somewhere after this. So again I have to make, yeah, let me insert one more row. Okay, let me insert one more row. Yeah, where is this insert? Somewhere it should be. Okay, fine. Let me take, now this value has become 5, right? 4 plus 1 is 5, and this is 5. Okay, what is a 5 plus 5? 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 by 2 is 5, and such the element at the fifth location. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the fifth location, whatever the element I got is 12. So there is a match now. So what I can say here, match, the element is found at fifth location. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At fifth location I got it. Yeah, now even if I have some 100 elements, how many steps that are required for finding whether element is available or not is, it is something like 100 by 2. Yeah, whether I am going to decide whether my element is available in lower half or upper half, or in the lower 50 elements or in the upper 50 elements. Then that 50 will be drilled down to 25, and then to 12, and then to 6, and then to 3, and then to 1. Yeah, each and every time it will be divided by 2. That's why it is called as binary search, an efficient searching technique when compared to linear search. And the only thing that is required is my elements should be in either ascending or descending order. And let me take one more example for explaining the same. Now I would like to search for 87. Yeah, as usual, my lower index is 0, which is pointing to 2, and my higher index is 12, which is pointing to 99, and the middle value is 6. And what's there at 6? It's a 21. 87 is greater than 21. Yeah, what's my clear-cut conclusion from this one is, my element is in upper half. It's not in lower half. It's somewhere in upper half. So what I have to do now, I have to make my low pointer to be pointing to this particular one. So what I am going to do is, low is equal to middle plus 1, it is 7. And again the same process. What is that? What is 7 plus 12 by 2? 19 by 2. It's a 9.5 according to fractional part, or I can say 9 index, as I am taking only index part, 9. What's there at 9th location? This is 6, 7, 8, 9. I am comparing with this location. What's there here? 55. And 87 is still greater than 55. So my element might be available in this part. Yeah, here also I am applying the divide and conquer technique. Each and every time I am dividing the interval into 2 parts. Okay, first of all, I have came to a conclusion that my element is in this part, and then it is in this part, and again low value is equal to middle plus 1. Now it is 10. What is 10 plus 12? 22. 22 by 2 is 11. So at 11th location, what is 11th location? This is 6th location, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, this is the element what I have calculated, and 87 is now matched with this 87. Okay, therefore there is a match and the element is available now. And how many steps are required for sorting this? Only 3 steps. Earlier 4 steps, now it has only 3 steps. But if I implement the same technique using linear search, it will take somewhere around 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I need to take 12 steps, right? But with the binary search concept, it has taken only 3 steps for finding the element. And coming to the next example, 25. Actually, if I have a look at this, yeah, I got no elements here, right? No 25 here. and how it can be done programmatically, or how a program is going to understand, or how a machine can understand whether the element is available or not. Yeah, here also I have taken that 0 as my low index and 12 as my high index, and middle is the average of those two, and at middle location I got the element 21, and then 25 is greater than 21, which means my element is available in this part. It is not available in this part. Simply I can ignore this part, and my low index value will be now pointing to this location. Okay, so low value is 7 now, and again finding the average of these two. What is 7 plus 12 by 2? 19 by 2, it's 9. And what's there at 9th location? 6th index, 7th index, 8th index, 9th index. It's a 55. It's a 55, and I am searching for 25. Yeah, which means 25 is less than 55, right? So my element might be available in this part. Okay, so what I have to do now? I have to make this high value to be shifted to this portion. I have to bring high position to here, not here, this one, to this one I have to bring. How to make that one? High is equal to middle minus 1. Now it is 8. What is 7 plus 8 by 2? It's a 15. 15 by 2 is a 7.5, but as I am performing integer division, it is 7. And at the 7th location, what I got? 29. 29 is the element available at 7th index. Just I am saying it because it is at 6th location. Yeah, the 7th location element is 29. So 25 is less than 29. So what I should do? My high value should be this one. What is that? Decremented with or minus 1 of middle value. So this has become 6. And one conclusion what I can make now is, whenever low value exceeds or becomes greater than the high value, whenever this condition arises, simply what I can say is, whatever the element I am looking for is not available in the list. So I can simply declare that the element that I am looking for is not available in the array or list. That's what I can say. And this is about this binary search technique, which is finding the element in a quicker fashion, and the only thing that is required is I need to have these elements being sorted. And how to do this one technically by using any programming language? How to make this one possible? That is the next question I need to answer. Yeah, for that, yeah, let me take. I need some list of numbers, right? For that, I am going to have some array. An array is a group of elements. If I mention something like this, a of 10, yeah, what is the meaning of it is? Sorry, I am going to create an array of 10 locations. Yeah, some 10 locations, some a block will be created, which is going to have 10 elements in it. Okay, this is the block that will be allocated. Okay, it is going to divide into 10 locations, and as usual as I said, yeah, this is my next elements that are going to have here. Okay, the starting index is 0, and the next index is 1, and the next index is 2, and the next index is 3, likewise so on and so forth. Okay, that will be incrementing, and the last index is n minus 1, where n is the size of the array. Yeah, here the value of n is 10, so the last location index is 9. Yeah, if I implement linear search, I have to compare one by one for each and every element. Yeah, how to navigate, and I have to look for the element, and if there is a match, then I have to say the element is available. If there are no matches, then I will be coming to the till end, and if this one is also not matched, then I can simply declare that whatever the element I am looking for is not available in the list. Yeah, if I apply the binary search technique for this, then I have to do what I have said now. What is that? I have to take some low variable, high variable, mid variable, and each and every time I have to check whether the elements are lower than the mid, whether the element that I am looking for is less than the middle element. If it is so, then the element I am looking for will be in the lower half. If it is not so, then it will be in the upper half, and each and every time I have to do these manipulations or calculations, and that is how I need to calculate. And let me dive into a programming language where I am going to implement this. Okay, I am going to implement both the techniques now. And there is one more technique as far as searching is concerned called hashing, and that I will do it in one of my later videos. And coming to the technical treatment of it, yeah, let me open. Okay, let me take a new one. Okay, yeah, rather than going for this Python interpreter, now let me take a C interpreter or C compiler. Okay, here I will be explaining each one using some programming language, either C or C++ or Java or Python. And why? Because so as to give some awareness on these programming languages. The logic is same in each of these programming languages, and all the thing that is required is syntactic differences between these. Yeah, I got a snippet here, the basic snippet, and let me do whatever I want here. Yeah, here coming to the declaration part, I need an array int a of 10, where a is an array which can accommodate to 10 elements, and I require some n for number of elements, I for indexing the locations of these elements, and ele for the element that I would like to search in the list. And I am asking the user enter number of elements. What are the number of elements available in the list? Okay, a backslash and I am going to have now here, which is the new line character, which makes the cursor to go to beginning of the next line. And I got a semicolon at the end of the line to indicate that it is the terminal or sentinel or the end symbol or delimiter in some other way. And then scanf %d, which means read an integer, and place it in the variable n. Yeah, I am going to place it in the variable n, and then I am requesting the user to enter the elements. Enter the elements into the array. Okay, yeah, some boxes will be created, and whatever the elements I am entering here will be stored there. As I told you already, the starting index is 0 and the ending index is n minus 1. That's why I have kept less than n. Yeah, less than n means it will go on up to n minus 1. Whenever the value of I becomes n, the condition becomes false, and each and every location is incremented by 1. Like if the starting location index is 0 and the next location index is 1 and the next one is 2 and so on and so forth. That's how it will get incremented. Yeah, that's why I have taken this incrementing value for I, and then I am writing something like scanf %d and address of I. Yeah, how it is going to work, and if possible let me increase this. Yeah, that's better, right? Yeah, what I am doing here, A is an array. Array means group of elements which can store 10 elements of type integers. Yeah, it can store 10 elements of type integers, and n is my number of elements, I is the index counter, and ele is the element that I am looking for. First I have read n value. It could be either 5 or 8 or yeah, at most it could be 10. Okay, why? Because as I have mentioned, the size of array as 10, then I have to give some value in and around 10 or less than or equal to 10. Yeah, if it is 100, then I can go on up to 100 elements. Okay, it's all up to our ease or requirement. And then here I am asking the user to enter elements. Here I have taken some loop counter which is beginning with the index 0, and it is going on up to n with an incremented value of 1 each and every time. And for example, if the I value is 0, whatever the value I am reading from the keyboard will be stored to a of 0. What is a of 0? The starting location. And then I value will become 1. And 1 is less than 10, the condition is true. Again it is going to read a value, and that newly read value will be stored to a of 1, and then a of 2, and then a of 3, and then a of 4, and so on up to the final value will be a of n minus 1, where n is the value that I have read here. For example, if the value that I have given is 5, then this loop will be repeated from 0 to 4. Okay, the elements are stored to a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, and finally to a of 4. That is how they will get stored. And then after inputting, up to this part I can call this one as input section. And the next one is the processing section. What is processing section? Okay, I need to enter the value also, right? Enter the element to be searched. Enter the element to be searched and a \n. Scanf %d, comma address of ELE. This is the element I am looking for. And now I have to say whether the element I am looking for is available in my list or not. For that, I am taking a looping statement. Actually, for or while, all these are called as looping statements, which are going to perform some sort of repetition. Or I can take for itself. For I is equal to 0. Okay, I is less than n, I plus plus, and then I will be going for if element is equal to a of I. Okay, if element is equal to a of I, then I am going to put something like break. Okay, now what I am saying here, as I have placed one inside another, this loop will be repeated for n times, starting with 0 and so on up to n minus 1, and the element whatever I am looking for will be first of all compared with a of 0. If there is a match, break. What is this break? What does this break will be going to do is, this break will make the cursor or control to come out of this loop, which means whenever this break is executed, my control will be here. It is out of the loop. Whenever this break is executed, whatever the element I am looking for is available in my array. Then there is no need to continue my searching process, right? Why? Because whatever the element I am looking for is already found in the list with this condition whenever met, and then there is no need to continue. That's why I am coming out. And whenever this statement is not at all satisfied, what is the meaning of it? Whatever the element I am looking for is not matched with a of 0, not matched with a of 1, not matched with a of 2, and so on up to not matched with a of n minus 1. It is not at all matching. Then what happens whenever this condition has failed? What is the meaning of it? My array iteration has come to the end, which means no matches at all. No matches at all. Whenever there is no match, then simply I can say that the element is not available. Or here I have to think some logic that whenever this I value has become equal to n, one thing I can declare is the element is not found in the array. And whenever this I value is less than n, then I can say there is a successful match. What I am trying to say here is, if I is equal to n, then simply I can say printf element not found. This is what I can say now. Otherwise, what is the meaning of otherwise? I value is not equal to n, it is somewhere less than n. In such case, I can say element found. Okay, let me have a recap into the things what I have done. I have taken A as an array which can store 10 elements and n the number of elements, I the index counter, EL is the element that I am looking for, and here I have taken the value for n, and I am reading that many number of elements into the array, and I am reading whatever the element that I would like to search for, and I am iterating through the array element wise for having a match with the element that I am looking for. Whenever there is a match, then this break will make the control to come out of the for such that the control is available here now, and this condition will be failed. Why? Because break has been run, which means I value is certainly less than n. So else part will be executed, which returns element found. Whenever this is met, what is the meaning of it? I value is now equal to n, then element is not found. This is what I can declare. Okay, let me run this. This program is connected with either linear search or sequential search, or whatever the name we can call. We can be called with that name, and enter the number of elements. Yeah, I'm giving some 8 elements are there. And what are the elements? Yeah, I have given 1, 4, 2, 3, 5, 7, 6, 8. These are the elements I have given. And what is the element I would like to search? Let me search for 7. Yeah, watch, element found. Yeah, whatever the element I would like to search, that has been met. Okay, let me run this for one more time and check. Yeah, enter number of elements 8, and the elements are 1, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 7. Yeah, I have given some more elements like this, and I am searching for 20. I am searching for 20 now. Element not found. Whatever the element I am looking for is not available in the list. Okay, this is how the linear search is going to work. And coming to binary search, how it could be implemented. Yeah, hope you have got what I have said now, and hope you have got how I have written the program. Yeah, if you have any doubts, yeah, please let us know in the comment section. Yeah, I will be at your service, and I will be taking this program again and explaining this pictorially how it is going to work. Yeah, I will do whatever you want, guys, and we are all doing it just for making or bringing the clarity among the students who are in need. Okay, just if you can learn these logics writing using any programming language, then it's for sure it is very easy for you to get a job. Okay, that's why we are all doing this. And along with these technical skills, we should each student should incorporate some communication skills, or email writing skills, or logical thinking, or aptitude questions answering. These are all another such. That's why all our channel is meant for. And in our channel we have plenty of things like we are doing videos for Vedic math, we are doing videos for the general puzzle solving, we are doing videos on current events, we are doing a lot of events on other things required for the nourishment of the students, like effective study skills or memory management, or brainstorming sessions of utilization of memory. Plenty of those, there are a lot. Please look into this, guys. And let me to continue the discussion. Yeah, I will be going for the binary search technique. Yeah, let me modify the same code. And here what else I require all these, and along with them I require one more thing called low, high, and mid. These are certain things I require. And after reading the element, low is assigned with the starting index, which is 0, and high is assigned with n-1, the last index. And yeah, I'm removing all this. Okay, let me write this, delete. And I have, while discussing the practical way of doing it earlier in one of my slides, I have told you whenever the condition low less than or equal to high is true, then there is a chance of having the element, and whenever the low value has crossed the high value, then the element is not at all available in the list. Now what I am doing is, first I will be calculating the mid value. What is mid value? It is the average of low and high. Okay, I am mentioning something like this, as low is an integer, high is an integer, and 2 is also an integer, and whatever the division that took place here is also integer. So my result is integer value. I mean the mid value will be stored with a integer value, and after that I have to compare this element with what is that, a of mid. Yeah, whenever this is true, what is the meaning of it? Whatever the element I am looking for is in my lower half of the array. Then I have to make high is equal to mid minus 1, and whenever this condition is failed, if my element is in upper half, what is the condition for it? Element is greater than a of mid. Whenever this condition is met, then I have to write something like low is equal to mid plus 1. Whenever these two conditions are failed, then what is the meaning of it? Whatever the element I am looking for has been available, has been found. Simply I can say printf element found, and okay, I can put something like return. Why? Because there is no need to continue any still further, right? I can simply come out of the program. In the earlier one I have done that with the help of break, and now I am going to make use of return. What is the difference between this break and return is break can make a loop to be terminated, whereas a return will make a program to be terminated. That is the difference between those two. And what I am writing here, return 0. Yeah, what is the meaning of it? Successful termination. Whenever my element is not in lower half, whenever my element is not in upper half, then there is only one option left. What is that? My element is there in the current location that I am searching, that I am looking for. Okay, so element found is the one, and after this message just I am returning means I am making my program to be terminated with 0, which means with a success. I got 0 number of errors in searching, in looking for the element. That is the meaning of it, something like that. And whenever this condition is failed, what is the meaning of it? Low has crossed high value. Whenever this condition has become true, whenever low value exceeds the high value, then automatically what I can say is, I can say something like printf element not found. This is what I can say. And one more small modification how to do here is, I need to mention enter elements in ascending order or increasing order. This is one small request that I am making to this program while entering the elements. And let me run this and let me check how far it is working fine. Okay, enter number of elements 8. Okay, and it is asking me the elements. Yeah, let me give 1, 3, 6 and 8 and 12, 34, 56 and 78. Yeah, let me count how many elements I have given. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Done. I have given 8 elements. And then what are the element I would like to search for? Yeah, I am searching for 56. Okay, element found. Why? Because 56 is available. Yeah, first is it is going to make a search with the middle element, and then the search will be done in this half, and again it is going to find the mid element, such that I will be getting the element at this location. And let me run this for one more time. Okay, here also the number of elements is 8, and it is 1, 4, 6, 8, some random elements. I can have whatever I want here, 24 and 33 and 56. Okay, 8 elements are given, I think. Yeah. Now, yeah, let me search for 1. Is it available or not? Yes, it is available. And let me run it for one more time for the false case, that I am looking for an element which is not available in the list. Okay, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Yeah, I am giving all the odd numbers now. Okay, 15. and let me search for some 20 element not found. Yeah, this is how, yeah, it is going to work, and the same logic can be implemented in any programming language. And here I have done this using a C programming language, and here if you can understand the logic whatever I have written here, it's nothing difficult, or it is so easy. In fact, if you have understood what I have explained in the slides, then linking the points is very easy. You have to, if you compare the theory or the presentation logic, whatever I have explained in one of my slides, if you can connect the dots, then it is very easy to understand. Trust me guys, yeah, just look into this logic also. And this is my base condition. Whenever low value is less than or equal to high, then there is a guarantee of finding my element in the array. And then I'm checking the calculating the average value. Then I have three conditions here. One, checking for the element whether it is in lower half or upper half, or whether it is in the middle. Yeah, these are the three conditions I am handling. And as I told you already, return 0 will terminate my program as the element that I am looking for has been found. If it is not available, then directly this condition will be failed and the control will jump to this particular portion, and now it is going to print element not found. Okay, hope you have got what I have said guys, and that's all for my discussion for this video. And stay tuned for the further videos linked with plenty of things, what are the other things that I can do with the programs, or it's the concept that we can link math with programming. That is my total intention. If I can tell you something mathematically, and if the same were given some technical treatment for it, then that will be useful for you to understanding the logic in a better manner. Okay, that's all my total intention is. And yeah, that's all guys. Have a good day. Bye.